Oh, my lord, you wouldn't believe it.
Oh, yes, I would. I would suck his dick. So what are you ladies discussing?
Books?
Welcome to the Nerd Blitz Book Club. Pull up a seat and pull down your pants. Listen to us read and go on rants. Hey gang, thanks for joining us this week for the Nerd Blitz Book Club. I'm Doom.
And I'm Fitz. Somebody can't do the intro right.
I was trying to do Sidious, but I kept fucking up and doing the main show intro. And you want to know what makes it even sadder?
What's that?
I've got a card right here with the intro written on it that I was reading, and I still couldn't get it right.
Read fail.
Hey gang, thanks for joining us this week for the Nerd Blitz Book Club.
There, I did it.
There, good job.
I don't know if that sounded right, but I don't care. I did it. I read it right in a voice. It's all I care about. And we're back with Star Wars Dark Disciple by Christie Golden.
Yes, this week we will be doing chapter 16 and 17.
I thought we were reading them. I didn't know we were doing them.
Well, we already read them. Now we're going to do them.
Oh yeah, cue the sexy music. Bow, chicka bow, chicka bow, chicka bow. Did that get too creepy?
Yeah. I'm not cleaning your paper cuts.
So yeah. Some shit happened last week, and now we're going to talk about some shit that happened this week, right?
Lots of little shits happening. No big shits, really.
Yeah, they're just chipping away. Well, I mean, there's some big shit this week.
Yeah.
Which we'll get to.
It ends with some big shit, I guess.
Yeah. Don't forget to wipe!
So last week, Ventress continued Voss's training in the dark side, and where we left off is she basically informed him that he was going to have to perform this Night Sister rite of passage where he has to summon this dark side creature and dominate it with his dark side will and get it to remove a piece of its body because it's a component they needed to make some potion. And
I swear to God, this is Star Wars, everybody. I
know,
swear.
doesn't it sound really weird? Like I said last week, I'm not like a big, huge fan of this whole sleeper thing.
Yeah.
It seems a little, I don't know, cliche or something. I don't know what, but
It's a little out there. When you talk about the Night Sisters, too, that's a little out there. I think I've said this before.
yeah, it's way out there.
If you don't watch it, it's gonna sound stupid. I know it will because I think you and Ross both told me about some kind of magic Night Sister stuff, and it was like, what the fuck are you talking about? That sounds retarded.
Yeah.
But when you watch it, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, out of context, it sounds pretty dumb.
Yeah. So, again, we've said this many times. If you haven't watched the Clone Wars, get to it because it's amazing.
That's where it left off, was Asajj was taking him back to camp to go over the plan of like what he needs to do and how this whole thing is going to work and how he's going to be able to defeat this beast.
They did a bunch of training last time, and guess what? When we left off, they're getting ready to do more training.
Yep. Cue the montage music.
This time, water training. Because you know what she gonna do.
He's practicing holding his breath.
Yeah. And things are gonna get wet.
Oh. So this is where she like breaks it down for him and tries to make it crystal clear to him that, because he's real cocky and thinks this is not going to be a big deal or difficult for him at all.
Well, I mean, is he really that cocky?
I think he is kind of, not cocky, but confident. Like he's not scared by this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He thinks this is, you know, it even says, like, you know, I respect your Night Sisters and whatever, but, like, I'm a fucking Jedi Master. I'm a grown man.
Yeah. But I mean, like, she's telling him she has a aqua breather, and then she's got a pair of goggles that'll let him see beyond the visible spectrum, and he's like, no, that doesn't feel right. The whole point of this test is to, you know, demonstrate his ability to use the Force.
Right.
So, I didn't really take it as cockiness.
Yeah,
You
but
know,
I mean, yeah, but he doesn't, but I took it to be that he was a little overconfident because he didn't, up until that point, really grasp the concept that, yeah, it's a test of your ability to use the Force, the dark side of the Force, which he is not at all adept at.
Yeah, but I mean, he seemed, as you said, he, you know, tells her he respects it, and then he says, I'm not a youngling. But to me, I didn't really get a sense of overconfidence. It felt like, you know, he was trying to be as respectful as he could.
Yeah, I guess
I didn't get the cockiness or confidence or whatever. Continue.
No, that was all. That was that whole section, basically. It was their little conversation about, you know, her making it clear to him that you can't use your normal abilities. You gotta tap into the dark side in order to control this thing.
Yeah. Then he kind of strokes her a little bit, not in a dirty way, and tells her, I've got the best coach in the universe who has a vested interest in seeing us survive, which again goes back to them, you know, getting it on and stuff.
Right. Yeah, they've bonded in many ways.
Yeah.
And as we're going to see in like the next little section here, even more so than Asajj really wants to admit to herself, I guess, or wants to see until Voss lays it all out for her.
Yeah.
In a pretty surprising way.
The end of that first section, though, real quick, for 16, has a nice little callback to what she called him in that first chapter when she met him.
Oh, the idiot.
Yeah, she says, don't forget that idiot, and he says never, and plants one on her. So, as you said, in this next section, where he's training in the oceans and shit,
yeah, because
getting more comfortable with them.
Yeah, presumably part of this test is going to be him in water with this beast. So she wants to make sure he's strong enough to swim with this thing, or, you know, to hold his own underwater. Yeah,
because, as we said before, this sleeper creature that he's going to be taking a piece, or be forcing to give up a piece of himself, it lives in the pools of the water in the caverns on Dathomir.
So part of the plan is to lure it out of the water onto land where he'll have an advantage, but there's no guarantee that that's going to work. So they have to prepare and be sure that he's able to handle himself in the water too.
So the beginning of this next section of chapter 16, it's them training him in the water and whatnot, and then they kind of get out of the water and start to have a little conversation that changes the whole game for him.
Yeah, he basically asks her, like, what happens after...
Yeah, what happens after they kill Dooku?
Yeah, she's like, what about after? She hasn't even considered the possibility that something could happen other than, you know, they kill Dooku and they go their separate ways.
Well, actually, you know, she brings it up. She tells him, it will be hard for you to go back to the Jedi, but it's possible.
Well, yeah, because that's what she thinks he's talking about. Was he asks her what happens after, and she's like, "Oh well."
Okay, yeah, sorry.
You know, you can go back to the. You'll be able to go back to the Jedi. It might be difficult, but it's possible.
Yeah, and then he drops a fucking huge bombshell right in her lap.
Right, he's like, "I don't want to go back."
Yeah, I want to be with you.
She got that magic pussy.
Yeah, clearly, if it can fucking pull you away from the Jedi Temple where he spent, 30 or 40 years, not quite sure which.
That shit makes you okay with using the dark side, okay?
Yeah, you want you some of that Night Sister Strange, because apparently that shit's life-changing. Puts shit into focus in a big bad way. Right here, talking about it changes you in a big bad way. I read, again, out of context, his quote is, "I can't walk away from this, and I don't want to." But yeah, they're having a talk about it, and he basically says if he can't be with her and be a Jedi, he's walking away from the Order.
He's come to the realization that it's ridiculous to not be able to have a companion.
No, not just a companion, not to have her.
Well, that's what I mean. Yeah,
I know, but I mean, I'm being specific, because he knows with her history with the Jedi, there ain't no way they're going to be like, oh yeah, it's cool.
Oh yeah, that makes it that much worse.
Yeah.
Like, they wouldn't be cool with it anyway, but the fact that it's her, it's like...
Yeah, because, there's always just a slim little chance that they'd be like, okay, we'll allow it. Again, it's not a big fucking possibility, but there's a slim chance. But her specifically, ain't no fucking way. After all that she's done to the Order, all the fights and shit she's had with Obi-Wan, ain't no fucking way in hell they'd be like, oh yeah, bring her in, let's have fun.
Right, or the Jedi that she's killed.
Yeah. And I mean, she was a Jedi herself at one point, sorta. Ain't no way. Ain't no fucking way.
Yeah. But to underscore how serious he is, he takes off his little bracelet or whatever that has this communicator that he keeps in touch with the Jedi Council with and just fucking smashes it with a rock.
That was fucking unexpected.
And he's like, it's just you and me now.
Yeah, he tells her, for now it's just you and me, and it's like, okay.
And then he sweeps her off her feet and carries her back to the ship.
Yeah, because they're going to do some fucking again.
Mm-hmm.
But
they
get interrupted.
Yeah, since it is a kid's show, they get interrupted.
Which, again, I said it last week, I gotta say it again, though. I wonder if their relationship would have been this graphic on screen, because, like, he kisses her, and then he picks her up, and starts walking her, presumably, to go fuck.
Well, maybe not. Maybe they're just gonna, like, play Parcheesi or something.
Nah, yeah, they're just gonna play solitaire and read books all night.
Yeah, sometimes you do that.
That's what adults do, isn't it?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Depends. Do they have kids?
Not yet. They're gonna make some. Or, no, I mean, never mind. Nothing to see here. Move along.
The Jedi can control their bodies real well, right? So they can, like, cleanse themselves of poison and control their breathing and, you know, lower their heart rate and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Do you think he could, like, command his sperm to, like, stay inside? Like, guys, don't go out today, and then...
You mean, can he be like Sting and be all tantric?
No. I mean, like, it's like forced contraceptives.
Well, okay. I mean, I'm gonna take this question really seriously. Okay.
Yeah, I took it surprisingly serious. I thought it was going to come out and be a ridiculous joke, but then I'm like, hey, man, that's like actually not a bad question.
Well, in the Republic Commando novels of the old EU,
yeah,
there was this Jedi woman. I can't remember her name.
Halata Vagina?
No.
Oh.
No. I can't remember her name, but I'm pretty sure that wasn't it.
Okay.
Her and one of the clones under her command kind of started getting it on.
Well, clones are sterile, though, aren't they?
No, not in this case.
Oh,
Because he impregnated her, and as soon as he fucking got up in them guts and shot his wad, she could feel the baby forming, and I don't know if she tried stopping it, or if she encouraged it and made it grow faster, better, stronger.
Whoa. That's fucking heavy. You talk about fucking weird shit for a Star Wars book.
I know. But, again, it's just like Clone Wars. Out of context, it seems really fucking weird and strange. But in the context of these books, it works. And she eventually had this dude's kid. And the Mandalorian that trained this group of commandos, because in the old EU, in these books specifically, what it was Jango gave his DNA, okay? And then he went and grabbed different Mandalorians and shit to help train them so they knew their heritage of, you know, being Mandalorian. And this one dude, Cal Scarata, something like that, I don't know. His name was Cal. He kind of took the kid away from her because I guess he felt she should have stopped it and didn't because of her love for, I think his name was Darman. That was the clone, Darmon or Man, I'm not sure. But Cal thought that she should have put a stop to it, but she didn't. So he took the kid to raise as a Mandalorian, and then, spoilers, she ended up getting dead. And there's this real heartbreaking scene in the end of one of the books, I think the end of the second book maybe, where, like, Darman actually meets this kid, her kid, and he doesn't know it's his kid. But, you know, since all the clones look alike, he can sort of see himself in the kid.
Yeah.
And he just kind of, you know, plays with the kid and moves on because, again, he doesn't think it's his kid. And then he finds out it is his kid, and it kind of fucks with his head a bit. As
it would.
Yeah. It's surprising that you brought that up, because while it's not, you know, a dude trying to fucking take the potency out of his swimmers, there has been sort of a version of this issue brought up in Star Wars.
I guess I'm not as brilliant as I thought.
No, I mean, it's a good question. It's an interesting question. That if you take it seriously, it'll lead you down some interesting paths. Even without, like, the Republic Commando novels, it is an interesting thought to have.
I was just thinking I'd like to be able to do that.
What? Knock your swimmers down a peg?
Yeah, just like give them the night off.
There's a joke in there, but I'm going to let it go. I would say, specifically to answer your question, I would say, yeah, there is a good chance that he could be like, okay, guys, tonight, go out for a couple beers, because I got this.
Mm-hmm. Your services are not required.
Yeah, no shit. Be like fucking... No, I won't mention Harry Potter again. So yeah, they go to have a little Humpty Hump and get interrupted by one of her informants who tells her they found Dooku.
He's going to be on Raxus. Yeah. Now, that name sounds familiar. Where is that from?
I'm not 100% sure, but I remember the planet being called Raxus Prime.
Yeah, Raxus Prime. Where was that from? Didn't we just read something with that, or wasn't that just in something?
I'm not sure, but as soon as I read it, I read Raxus and was like, Raxus Prime, I've heard of that.
Yeah, me too. I put the Prime at the end too. So that's definitely something I should have looked up.
I mean, if you give it a second, we can do it now.
Okay.
I'm going into Wikipedia now. Holy shit, for real? If I've got this right, yeah, it's in the novel, in the video game for the first Force Unleashed game.
Okay.
Because, let's see.
I was going to say, I don't think that's where I know it from, but maybe.
It's definitely where I know it from, because I've played those games, and I love those games. Here, this is the history. After surviving Order 66, Prattis, I don't remember who that is, fled from civilization to the junkyard planet Raxus Prime. It had a junk temple on it, which was a makeshift replica of the Jedi Temple on Coruscant, made by this Jedi Knight Kasdan Prattis.
Okay.
It's where he hid out from the Empire.
Oh, in a temple that looks just like the temple on Coruscant? That's a pretty smart move.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks almost exactly like it, too.
Oh, it's good plan.
I guess he just figured, the planet would be enough to hide him. He could... See, this makes me wonder if he thought that the design of the temple helped the Jedi with their...
Oh, like focus their force energy or something.
Yeah, but yeah, that's where I know it. Let's see if there's any other result, because I saw another one.
That's not where... It sounds almost like the planet where Maul was discovered.
I mean, the similarities between them is pretty fucking stunning. But here it says that it's the home planet of the Confederacy, which... I mean, they call it home turf, and they say it's the capital of the Confederacy of Independent Systems.
Right.
But wasn't that, what's Dooku's home planet? I thought that was the capital.
No, that's just where he hangs out. That's where his retreat is, or whenever you see him, like in sleeping, or like in the Night Sister episode where at the end of that, Asajj breaks into his house to kill him. That's on that planet, but I can't think of the name of it. But it's not Raxus Prime; it's something else.
Well, it says here that Raxus was a lush world on the Outer Rim territories that served as the capital planet of the Confederacy of Independent System during the Clone Wars. I don't remember that.
No, I do remember there was an episode of the Clone Wars where they went to. They actually showed like the Senate, the separatist version of the Senate.
Yeah, with Senator Bonteri. The episode where Padme went to meet her.
Let's leave it at that for now. We'll move on.
Yeah, long story short, they found Dooku. He's making an appearance on Raxus.
Asajj is kind of like not terribly happy about it because she thought they would have more time together before they have to do this incredibly dangerous mission where it's likely that maybe neither one of them even survives.
Yeah, and not only that, they've still got to take on the Sleeper.
Right. So that pushes up the date of his test, if you will. He's not really ready, but he insists that he is ready, so she's like, fine, let's go do it then. And that's the end of chapter 16.
Yeah, they head off to the village in the mountain, and...
Yeah, so basically the big revelation from that chapter is Boss is like completely drunk the Kool-Aid, and he's, I'm done with the Jedi. I want to be with you, and that I'm not going back.
That milky white puss.
Oh, gross. I'm not going back, so we're going to go kill Dooku and then live happily ever after is his thought.
Yeah. Chapter 17, they're in the cavern, and they're, he's getting ready to take the dip.
Yeah, well, she takes him to the pool where the sleeper lives, and it's not
Which-
like any of the other ones. It's the other ones kind of glow, or kind of like a glowing blue, and this one is like almost black.
And see, this right here, this throws me off. She says, as they're looking at one of the other pools, she says, "This is where I truly left being a Sith behind, where I became a Night Sister. I was too old and experienced to call the sleeper." So why is it okay for Voss to do it if she was too old to do it?
Well, maybe it's just she was past the age of and more experienced than when the Night Sisters have to do it. But
Yeah.
I mean, but who knows? Because as we're going to find out, she's not really telling all the whole truth here.
That seems really weird to me why he wouldn't question that. She says, I was too old and experienced. Again, as we worked out in the first episode, it seems like he's probably older than her.
Yeah, I would say so. But then again, he's not as
Steeped in the dark side?
Yeah, he's not as experienced in the dark side is probably the factor. Like, she's already a master of the dark side by the time she comes back to the Night Sisters, so there's probably no benefit in her trying to control the sleeper because she could do it easily.
Yeah, that's true, but that just seemed weird to me.
Yeah.
I didn't know if it stuck out to you at all or not.
Yeah, a little bit, but that was one of those things that I just let it go by.
Yeah, okay. Continue.
But yeah, she says this is where she was reborn and became a true Night Sister. And he asked her, was it by magic? And she said kinda, but mostly it was just choosing to leave the Sith behind. So it sounds like she has completely like renounced Sith.
She's not like Maul where she's desperate to get back in. She's like, he turned on me, so...
Yeah, so I'm done
Fuck
with you
him.
fuckheads. Yeah.
I don't know why, but for some reason, in Chapter 16, I had something about her being bipolar, and I don't remember why.
Because she's fucking crazy as shit.
True. Real quick, because I'm looking at my notes now. Surprisingly, we're a half hour in, and I haven't looked at my notes yet. For Chapter 16, I did want to mention this. Seeing her, how loving she is with him, it's a great way to show that she has grown. It kind of goes back to your point about she's actually left the Sith behind.
Mm-hmm.
That in Chapter 16 is a good way to show it.
Yeah, and the fact that, you know, she's allowing herself to be that way, to be almost vulnerable with him, that she wouldn't be with anybody else.
Yeah. So yeah, while that was for last chapter, it goes to prove your point just then.
So the time has come, and he's got to try to call this beast from the depths and try to get him to come out onto land. And I kind of missed it at first. I thought he actually, because it says he puts the aquator breathing apparatus thing in his mouth. I thought he actually went in the water from the beginning, but he doesn't. He's standing there on the bank, and he's just kind of like...
That was kind of murky to me, too, because it felt like he was sort of swimming down, and then it felt like he was standing on the lip of the pool,
he was,
and it's like, wait a minute.
Yeah, no, he was definitely standing on the edge of the pool, but the way they described it, he's using the force to go down through the water, and he's seeing all the different fish and creatures and shit that live down there, and he's searching for the sleeper, and he finally finds him and like wakes him up. He can tell that it's like this thing's been asleep for years and years, and it's just dreaming peacefully. And so it even says it's like he's conflicted. Like, part of him wants to just let him sleep because
but the other part of him knows he's got to do what he's got to do.
Right. So, you know, it goes into his mind and tells him to wake up.
And did you get the feeling that he had his, like they said in that one episode of Clone Wars where it was Mace, Anakin, and Obi-Wan all, you know, outstretched hands looking at Cad Bane?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Do you feel like he kind of had his boy band moment there?
Yeah, I think so. I think his hand was out for sure. Because, you know, the force doesn't work unless you got your hand up like that.
Oh, okay. Is that a fact?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a rule.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
Or at least you just look cooler doing it.
You'd be kind of weird if you're just standing there, your hands in your pocket, and all of a sudden a beast comes out and you're like, oh, what's up? So yeah, spoilers, he does lure the beast out of the water. Asajj tells him that everybody sees the beast kind of differently. Some have seen it with pincers, some have seen it with tentacles.
Right. Well, guess what? Turns out it has all of those things.
Yeah, we once again get another Han Solo moment. It's true, all of it.
It's like each person sees a different part of it, I guess, when they're...
But
when it comes out of the water, it's got all of it. It's got big pincer arms. It's got big club arms and like tentacles and...
Talking about, you know, the Han Solo moment of it's true, all of it. As he's trying to get the thing to come out of the water, what word does he use? Awaken. Awaken.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this big fucking sleeper beast comes out and wide awake and comes after him. Is like, come on, little man, you want a fucking dick? Let's dick. The beast doesn't talk.
Yeah, I thought it was cool. They talked about the sleeper's eyes, like they're like this lavender color, and they're like each eyeball is like as big as his head, as big as Voss's head. He talks about he had known species where they could see like more colors than others, because their eyes were more complex.
Yeah,
and he said he had never seen eyes quite like this, and he was.
Do you know what this reminded me of?
What?
Zillow Beast.
Oh yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Because they were talking about its eyes and shit too.
Yeah. Well, it says he wonders, could it be that this thing is so hard to control with the Force because his eyes can actually see the Force?
Yeah.
Which I thought was kind of fucked up. That would be fucked up if like it could see the Force around it being manipulated and would know that somebody's trying to control him or try to do something to him,
How do you think it would see the Force? Would it see like a mist sort of being controlled or something?
I don't know. It could be, or it could be like infrared, or it could be like an aura.
Yeah.
Who knows? It could be anything.
That's what when I read that about seeing the Force, it's like, well, I wonder how it would see the Force. What would the Force look like?
Mm-hmm.
Would you see these little spores kind of like coming together and like a cartoon hand luring somebody closer to a good smell?
Yeah, maybe.
Sorry, I've been watching a lot of Scooby-Doo lately.
It looks like the stink lines coming off a pile of garbage in a...
So yeah, the other thing that really struck me is, again, I think we've said it every episode, this would have been amazing to see.
Oh yeah, every time I finish a chapter, it's like, fuck, I wish this would have been on screen.
Yeah. Like I said, I know we say it pretty much every episode, but it's true. It's like these certain things happen, like the chases or the montages or whatever. This huge fucking beast. Just imagine the ant that is Quinlan Voss standing looking up at this huge fucking beast. It'd be a lot like the Zillow Beast, like I said.
Right.
And it would be just stunning to watch. But that might be a good reason why it didn't happen, because it would be too similar to the Zillow Beast,
Yeah.
But I still want it.
Yeah, so eventually he has to wrestle it with its will, and eventually he does let his anger take over, and he really digs deep and gets that dark side rush and tells it, just wills it to obey him, and he does. It just freezes in place, and that's when he's like, he yells out to Asajj and is like, hey, what am I supposed to do? Do I have to make this thing cut off a piece of its body now, or do I have to do it, or what? She
just tells him, no, you don't lose concentration, but fucking listen. Fucking throws him for a loop and tells him, you gotta kill it.
Yeah, this was all bullshit. We're not taking anything off of it. I need you to kill this thing now.
And again, his Jedi training kind of kicks in for a second, and he's like, wait, what the fuck? I can't kill it.
Right, he's like overcome with pity for this thing because it's a totally innocent, dumb creature that knows nothing, doesn't know right from wrong or anything. So he's basically got to kill this thing in cold blood, and he doesn't think he can do it.
And much like the Zillow Beast, it could be the last of its species, so why would he want to destroy the last of its kind? And as he's fucking going over this, the beast strikes out and grabs him.
Yeah, because even though she said don't lose your concentration, he fucking lost his concentration, of course.
Yeah, because she fucking dropped a bombshell on him at the last second.
Yeah, so he lost his grip on this thing, and so now it's attacking him, and it's fucking grabs him with the tentacles and drags him back into the water with him. So there you go. The plan failed, and now he's in the water. Without his oxygen breather, because it got knocked out of his hand. That's what I was
gonna say. So the beast is fucking got its tentacles wrapped around him, squeezing the fucking shit out of him, and taking him deeper and deeper into the water. And all the while, he's got to remain calm, remain in tune with the Force, and try to fucking fight back. But does he?
Not so much. Kind of gets a little angry.
And fucking thing starts crushing him, basically, and it takes him a few minutes, but he does sort of get control again.
Well, actually, he can sense that, or he can tell that the thing's about to hit him with one of his club arms.
Yeah.
And is it like he force pushed the thing's arm as it was coming at him, and it redirected his arm, and he made the thing punch itself in his own face.
So he's the bully going, stop hitting yourself! Stop hitting yourself!
He force deflected the blow and made it go into the creature's face.
Yeah.
So he ended up clubbing himself in the face, and that let him get free, and he got back to the surface.
Doesn't he kind of convince the fucking thing to come back up again?
Yeah, he comes back up, and he calms him down again, gets control again. And then that's when he has to make his choice. Is he actually going to kill this thing or not? Asajj finally convinces him because she says, like, you know, you're going to have to kill Dooku probably in cold blood. And are you going to be able to do it? I need to know that you can do it.
And tells him, if you can't do it now, how are you going to be able to do it then?
Right.
Your Jedi compassion's going to control you and destroy everything we've worked towards.
Finally, he makes his decision, and he lets his anger and whatever take over, and you know, he just commands the thing to die, and it fucking strangles, suffocates to death, and writhes in pain and suffers, and finally just dies.
Yeah, and it's, you know, falls back into the water and just floats there lifeless.
Which was kind of fucked up. That would have been a fucked up scene to watch.
I know, right?
Mm-hmm.
They did some really fucking dark shit on Clone Wars, but this would have been fucked up to see him just, you know, throttling it with the Force and watching it wriggle and stumble around and flail and then flop down in the water and just float there. Yeah,
and afterwards, you know, seeing him, like, and I think the sentence, he has many thoughts after it's over, and none of them that he really speaks. But there's, like, he has the desire. He doesn't want to talk about the desire he has to do it again.
Yeah.
Like that it actually felt good to kill this thing, or not to kill it, but the power, to feel that power.
Yeah.
And
he tells her, the Jedi have always taught that the dark side is the quick and easy path. And she kind of tells him, yeah, and you need to be careful because it kind of is. Right.
She's trying to make sure he knows, like, it will consume you if you let it. So be aware. So, which makes me wonder, like, reading this chapter raised more questions about, because I already know what happens kinda at the end of the book.
Yeah, let's try our best not to spoil it, but yeah.
Yeah, but I'm like, dude, what's actually going to happen to him?
Well, see, this we can talk about. We know from episode 3 that he is still a Jedi. So it's like, how does he get that back in control?
Yeah, that's true. He is still, so how does he, because man, right now it looks like it's not, he's not headed in a good direction. Jedi. Yeah, he's renounced the Jedi already. He's putting it where it doesn't belong, and now he's like full on. He's like killing things with the Force, which is a big no-no.
And loving it,
and liking it.
Not just killing him. Yeah, he's fucking wants to do it again more.
Right, and it even says too, like he feels incredibly sad because he feels like something's broken inside of him now.
Yeah,
now that he's done that.
So it's going to be interesting because we're watching him struggle. He wants to enjoy it, but he knows he shouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it is going to be interesting to see how...
Like, how far does he go? Yeah, how far does he end up going, and how the hell does he get back?
Exactly, because, I mean, just this so far, you don't even have to think about the rest of it. This right now, it's like, he has gone pretty fucking far.
Mm-hmm.
What else is he gonna do, and how does he get back from that?
Right.
We know he doesn't kill Dooku, but they're gonna attempt it.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about in previous episodes. That shouldn't even be on the fucking table for a Jedi. So, does that mean it's easy for him to come back because the Jedi have, you know, changed so much, doing shit they shouldn't do? It's not that hard for him to come back?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
it wasn't so easy for Anakin to come back.
No. But 22, 23 years later, he did.
Right.
But at that point, the fucking Jedi were done. So, but yeah, it is. It's going to be really fucking interesting to see how, after everything he's done, not only does he make it back on his own, but how do they accept him back? Let's just finish out this chapter real quick.
I mean, that's pretty much it. Like, they have another moment together after it's all over with.
They basically talk about, she kind of feels a little bad about making him do this, and she tells him, I regret that this is the path you must tread, but it must be done if we're going to defeat Dooku. And he tells her, Dooku's strong, and we will be stronger together. And then, yeah, she says together, and they start sucking face again.
Yeah.
This time, it's like more than like the last two chapters because it was all montagey and shit, not much going on. You want to see it on the screen.
Yeah,
and once
definitely.
again, it's got you asking more questions like, where's it going to go? What's going to happen? And I'm pretty sure I've ended almost every episode, or at least every other episode, saying this. I can't fucking wait to read more.
Mm-hmm.
That was like the great strength of the Clone Wars. Even though sometimes, like with Krell, shit went on too long.
Yeah, and sometimes you had real stinker episodes, but for the most part, you didn't.
Yeah, for the most part, you didn't, and for the most part, you wanted more.
Yeah, and the episodes went by really fast. Like, they'd start,
mm-hmm.
and then, boom, they're done. They were that good. Well done.
Like, for me, even earlier in this episode, I've made clear my affection for those Republic Commando novels. That episode with that Republic Commando was like, oh shit, I want more of this, and they never really gave us any more. That would have been cool to see if they would have tried working anything from those novels in.
Probably they would have. I mean, they were definitely not averse to bringing that kind of shit in.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah, I mean, not as much as a lot of people complain about or would want, but things that fit, things that work, things that could be naturally folded into it, they would bring in.
I mean, I would be fine with them changing shit just a little bit to fit it in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not married to the text of it. It's like, if you can fit it in, I'd be happier, because I've always said I would love to see all of these novels, the new ones and the old ones. I'd love to see them animated.
Yeah.
Which, that's something like they've talked about with Rebels. They're saying, there's a lot of rumors that say season 3 of Rebels is going to be the last season, and then they're going to move on to a series set between 6 and 7.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I don't know if you've heard that.
I've heard it.
Well, see, and then they say they're going to continue the story of Rebels in, like, quarterly 1 hour or 2 hour movies.
Oh, okay. Well, I'd buy that for $1.
I've always thought, like, why not fucking make these movies, or these books and the comics and shit, which the comics I really don't need to see because comics are a visual medium. But the novels, why not bring them to life in direct-to-video movies? And like this one specifically, it's based on unused scripts from the TV show. Why fucking make a book? Why not just put out 2, hour-and-a-half movies? I think there'd be more money in the movies, wouldn't there? Because they've always said that, yeah, the Star Wars books do semi-well, but...
Well, but I mean, money as in...
Cost?
Takes too much to make them. Like, their profit margin's probably not real great. Although book profit margin's probably not that great anymore. It's probably better than... spending millions on a couple episodes or couple directed DVD movies, and as opposed to paying an author to write a book and then printing a bunch of them.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. With the legacy that the Clone Wars is left, I think there would be a pretty decent-sized audience for it.
Oh, I know. I think so. I think you're right too. I'm just saying, just putting on my bean counter hat.
Yeah.
My corporate hat. I know how those people think.
I do too, but...
I almost never agree with them, but they'll spend $100 to save a penny.
Yeah.
But something that seems common sense and like a no-brainer, they'll be like, "Oh, fuck that. We can't do that." That's old shit. We don't want to do no old shit. We want to do new shit.
True. But I mean, seems like a fucking huge missed opportunity to me.
Yeah, I agree.
Especially, like I said, with the rumor saying that they're gonna continue Rebels that way.
Yeah, and maybe they are. Maybe that's on the plan. Maybe that's, they've got to have talked about it.
You see at Celebration, they've got whole panels dedicated to one character. So there's got to be an audience.
Well, I believe Filoni just said, watch season 3 because Ahsoka will be back.
Yeah, but I mean, just as a whole, if you can have one panel at a big, convention like that dedicated to one character alone,
yeah,
I think that right there should tell you that there's an audience, enough of an audience to take the risk of a couple $1 million to make a movie, a direct-to-video movie.
Yeah, I agree. I'm just saying,
know.
They probably don't think that like that.
Trust me, I know how they think too. It's all about fucking... Anywho, how did you feel about these 2 chapters? Did we cover that?
Yeah, it continues to be good. I mean, this one really ended well. Like we said, it left me questioning this guy's future.
Yeah.
I have no idea how he's gonna not be a changed person after all this.
Yeah. Hard to come back from again.
Yeah, we don't normally see a Jedi get this dark and then not continue on.
Yeah. I mean, again, EU. I've got to keep coming back to that because that's my main Star Wars knowledge. Like, Mace, he was real in touch with the dark side, and he was a master. Because, like, his form, he created one of the 7 forms of lightsaber combat that the Jedi used. His form that he created was real fucking in touch with the dark side and kind of...
aggressive?
Yeah, walking that line of almost using it. Because I think we talked about that novel Shatterpoint, which I didn't like.
Mm-hmm.
In there's a lot of him struggling to use that form that he uses and not, push it too far and go into the dark side. As you said, it's interesting. It's real fucking interesting to see where it's all going and how it'll all play out in the end.
Yeah, and I'm also curious to see, is Asajj being completely honest about her feelings?
Oh, shit!
What?
Yeah, that's something we need to talk about. We didn't talk about. sometime in these chapters, she was talking about, her internal monologue was about how she was starting to feel guilty about lying to him about his master.
Oh, right. Because, yeah, like, when is she going to... Oh, yeah, that's going to become a factor. Because she thinks that in this chapter, like, how long before I should tell him the truth that I'm the one who killed his master and not Dooku.
Yeah,
she's got to wait until after they kill Dooku, because she's created this false
monster.
Rage. Yeah. Hello?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. She's created this false rage in Voss towards him, and they need that in order to be successful. So she can't tell him that until after the mission. So
it puts everything in jeopardy.
Yeah.
Even though that she has taught him to tap into it.
Right. Yeah. So I think we will see her reveal that at some point.
Yeah.
Which I think is going to throw a huge wrench. She thinks it's not going to be that big of a deal, that she can.
Ain't no way in hell.
Smooth it over, but I don't think so.
Yeah, there ain't no way in hell he'll be like, oh, that's okay, baby. Come here, let's fucking kiss again.
Like, I went to the dark side for you.
Yeah, I went to the dark side for your pasty puss.
Oh, God. Filthy alliteration.
I know, I love me some alliteration. And if it's filthy, it's even better. So yeah, that's another big question, you know?
Yeah, what happens when he finds out the truth about her?
Does he go ape shit, or...
Yeah, but I was thinking even more like, you know, I'm still not trusting that she's not playing a game with him. It's probably not. It's probably not, because they've gone out of their way to make it seem like she's being genuine. So I would hope that they wouldn't pull some lame swerve at the end where she was just using him to get to Dooku.
Yeah, that would be not that great.
No.
All of a sudden she turns on him. No, that's...
Yeah. No, I think it's way more interesting for it to go this way.
Yeah. Ready to get into our thank yous then?
Yeah. You want to do some thank yous and we'll get out of here?
First of all, let's thank the ladies that did the intro with me. Batcat37 and TESD Groupie did a little bit of voice acting for us. That's pretty fucking good.
Mm-hmm. Is this Groupie's first voice acting gig? I think it might be, isn't it?
I don't know.
I don't know that I've ever heard of her doing it before.
I've heard her.
She's been interviewed and stuff. Shit. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, we might have broke her into voice acting.
Look at us, discovering stars.
Yeah, no shit. And Kat, she's done quite a few things for my channel.
Yeah, I thought so. I thought she's helped you out. She's helped you before.
Yeah. Let's see. And then for the logo, thanks to @SherrySays. As we keep saying, it still hasn't gotten boring. We still love it. And then thanks to @TheJSarge for the intro music that we use on every fucking thing we do. And be sure to listen to his new podcast, or, well, I don't know how new it is at this point, but hey, it's still new to me.
Jeff Knows Nothing.
Yes, there we are. And you can find it on SoundCloud, or ask him about it. He'll provide a link. Or just ask around. We'll tell you how to find it, which is what we're supposed to be doing now, but I've gone brain dead and I can't remember.
Yeah, it's been a long day.
Yeah, no shit. And then, obviously, our shit. We're part of the High Alt Pod Network. You can find that at highaltpod.net. We're on iTunes, Google Play, and then, obviously, find us at nerdblitz.com. Follow us on Twitter at nerdblitzpod. You are...
at Fitzman73.
I'm at the Scooby Doom. His other podcast and Twitter account is...
at JJ2End.
And how do they find your other podcast?
Just jump to jj2end.com.
Okay.
I told you it's been a long day.
Hey, I'm not fucking breaking your balls about it. I know, man. My other Twitter account for everything I do is at TSDJA Production. Oh, and be sure to follow us or subscribe to us on YouTube. Just search Nerd Blitz on YouTube. We've got all kinds of cool shit for you there. Is that everything?
I think that's everything for this week.
Okay, so until next week...
bookmark it.
This has been a feature of JJ2E Media and TSDJA Productions.